G'day, g'day. Hope you're all having a good one. I'm just vibing to the music at the moment. Just listening to some Witcher score. Holy. I'm just gonna test something, so don't mind me looking around the place. Hopefully my computer doesn't die. I was gonna test something for Amy. Trying to get her character shit working. And there's something really wrong. Turns out her model might be a little bit munted. Open up my... Just vibe with the music in the meantime. No, I know this song. I was like, do I know this song? But no, I don't. Just drag our model on. Fuck, how do you visualize normal? What do I do? Okay. Trying to figure out her stuff. Hello, Fezrel. How's it going, my dudes? So, I guess I can share. I hope she won't mind. Just testing out somebody's character. I think I know what's going wrong with her character. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it. Am I modeling an enemy for my game? No, this is... I'm not gonna take any credit. Just gonna turn down the music. So that's my friend's model that she made for an interactive VR experience. So apparently in an animation class they have to make an interactive VR experience. I'm just quickly helping her with this. I'll bring it onto my big screen so I can show everything. Enlarge it. How you doing though today? I'm gonna be honest, doing good. That's good to hear. Sorry, if you guys, if you're hearing the fucking pudding or whatever, Maya's just not happy with me. Yeah, I personally am hella fucking tired, but I got an assessment handed in, and that's I'd spent way too long working on this assessment, so but it's in. It came out fine. See if I can find it. Oh no, it's working on a modular Japanese shrine. Some beauty renders. Should gonna be compressed, I guess. If you're tired, I think it's best for you to sleep. I'll stay up until like 9:30, 10. It's probably... I don't know why that's black. Oh shit. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This isn't good. Why is that not working? Let me just re-export a re-importer. No, basically it's too early for me to go to sleep, so... It's only 8 o'clock now, so if I went to sleep now, I'd be awake at like fucking 3 AM. one of those things. I appreciate the thought though. But yeah, oh fuck, I don't know what I want to stream, eh? I'm just gonna hope that that worked. Not entirely sure what's causing it, but hopefully it's fine. How many tabs I got open? A lot. Okay, this seems to be working. This isn't even bad. I just got plasticity, program that I own. They're changing some stuff about it, so I was just inspecting that shit. We've got concrete floor. That's a texture I used for the project and changed up. That was me trying to figure out how to remove transform shit. I don't know if you know, if you have a big, you import something large and then you small down how large the object is, then you have a bunch of extra shit. I ended up just copying, pasting a little bit and it figured itself out. Normal maps is how you get normal maps when you're not allowed to use Substance Painter. I'd highly recommend it. It's just GitHub normal map online. Reddit shit, typical. Review on Mirage, which I never watched. This was for Cyberpunk. Getting some, I'll claim that. Getting some of those free drops if you guys can't keep playing people's shit. If you guys don't know about it already, then you play Cyberpunk. There's some drops, so make sure to claim those. That was what that's for as well, but they haven't streamed in a bit. It's just building up my shit, you know. Which hopefully that should be fine. Hold on a minute. Thank you, I appreciate it. I spent a good amount of time working on that. Not to mention, I also have, should I just also note, a whole nother load of shit as well, which I'm just gonna put on this one. I'm sorry. It just turns out that something is fucky with my thing, so I'm just gonna resubmit my assessment. Because it seems something's wrong. So sorry about this. I don't want to, you know, ruin your time here, but I just don't want to fail my assessment, you know. Environment, sweet. Sorry. Sorry, just redoing everything, submitting that. Ah, sorry. In the titles you said you'll be playing some games, so what games do we get on the menu today? Good question. Sorry if I took a minute, I was just exporting it. A little update to the thing. She's given a little bit of a skin texture. Little menacing. Alright, we're fucking submitted, so we're good. Fingers crossed it's all working fine, and if so, they better fucking just tell me, go, hey, it's not working again. I gave them 2 options. I said, here's the actual link to the stuff. Oh, hey, Amy. Speak to the devil. And then I also have the actual file itself for them to directly access like this. Should be fine. What games should we be expecting? I want to do, there's something I was meaning to do that I kind of haven't gotten around to. So the games that I've recently acquired some new games which I don't have installed, and I don't know if I'm going to be playing. I'm not spending a shit ton of money on games that I won't play. Just if you guys know Humble Bundle, would recommend it. It's like not expensive. It's like under $20. And you get like 8 games that are worth a couple hundo. So, you know, you got Quarry, Deluxe Edition as well, Metal Hellsinger, Dark Pictures, some extra games. I tried a bit at Reblink. But outside of that, I mean, recently I've just been playing, I played some more Cyberpunk earlier today, completing some quests and some gigs, and then Witcher I've been playing a bit of recently. In terms of what I will be streaming, either one of those, or we'll find out. Yeah. I guess here we go. Somebody's been going around with one of these, so I figured I might as well do this as Chivalry. Could do Chivalry. Well, only if you're... Well, I don't want to, because if you're not playing, you know what I mean? I'll play it if you're playing. But I don't want to take you away from being able to get your work done. You will. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to be doing this. I sort of want to, you know, I'm sick of my at the moment, honestly. I want to, I've been meaning to do this, and I'm like, now's a good time to do it. So, here's what I'd consider, right? Now, this kind of would, you know, assume you'd heard of the Seed games before, but, I guess this is my video game, I don't know, personal genres, I guess. I don't know what you'd classify this. My personal bingo for video games, I guess. Now, chopping in for my favorite game of all time would have to be Witcher. Can I edit this? Why? Okay, hold on. Witcher. It'll do. It's not really centered. Hey, the beast. Oh, he is here. My favorite game is The Witcher. Is it my favorite game I've ever... no. It's the favorite game I've ever played. Is it the game that I've played the most, though? No. Let's look at this. I've played way too much Paladin. Warframe, and then even Paladins. Like, it's not even close. It's 113 hours compared to these ones. But I never considered these to be overly great. Like, I considered Warframe to be good. Paladins was alright at a time, but like they obviously had a lot of fundamental issues. I mean, Warframe, for one, being fucking taking my example of 60 hours for this one stupid mod, Condition Overload. Should not take you that long. Everything is RNG in that game, so good fucking luck. If you got good luck, then you're gonna enjoy the game. If you got bad luck, 60 hours it's gonna be, man. You could purchase it, but I stay away from purchasing even with in-game currency. Well, okay. In-game currency like credits, if you've ever played, fine. But platinum, which is like a premium currency, you either have to purchase it or trade with somebody to get it. I stick away from, especially for a singular mod. So yeah, Warframe, favorite game. Paladins, just Bugtopia. Not even Bugtopia. It's got a lot of fundamental issues at the moment. Yeah, but Bugtopia doesn't help. There is a lot wrong with Paladins, and don't get me wrong, Overwatch isn't much better. Yeah. So Overwatch isn't really any better. They're both arguably just as bad to me. So, you know, I put the hours in, but it's like gone pretty downhill, especially from like the last couple years. It was good back in early access, but it kind of really went downhill. But yeah, my favorite game, Witcher. Second favorite game would probably have to be Cyberpunk. I thoroughly enjoy CDPR games. I don't think there's really any ones that I dislike. I think it's a culmination of having some of the highest quality stories, having insane music, point in case shit that we're listening to, and overall the vibe and feel of all those games are just like pretty much top dog. Not to say they're the best games that have ever been released. I would argue that they are definitely some of the most insane top games to ever release, but you know, I understand if others believe otherwise. I'd say another one that's very high up there, not in my favorite kind of game. I never have fully gotten into it, but Red Dead Redemption's insane. Like the whole quality of that shit is just insane. As well. So you played TF2, maybe I like it. Team Fortress, I'm assuming. Not Titanfall 2. I've played both of those though. I've played how much Team Fortress? I played a bit of Team. I got Classic, but I need to play Classic. Team Fortress. Where's TF2 gone? Is it like? Hold on a minute. I can tell you now, I've definitely played it, because if I look at my inventory, we've got Team Fortress 2 shit, which you don't get by not playing the game. Well, I don't know why it wasn't coming up there. But it says it's on my... That's weird. Did I spell it wrong? It doesn't... Oh. For some reason it doesn't come up, but I've definitely played it. I don't know why the original one. Team Fortune. Okay, so I played it for 30 hours almost. It's alright. I'll say... I think I was quite... I don't know. I can't say that I was late to Team Fortress 2. Like, I was late, obviously. But I also was playing it 5 fucking years ago. Even prior to that as well. Like, 5 years ago was when I stopped playing it. So, I don't know where I'd put it. I would definitely say I was definitely late to it. But the game... I was late to it, but... you know... I was also a whole long time ago as well. I don't know. It is what you classify as if you play an old game, you're late to the fucking party, but it's a whole lot earlier than now, I guess. Team Fortress 2 was pretty good. It just was never really my full cup of tea. But I mostly believe that to be the case for two reasons. First reason, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of... This isn't a bad thing about the game, but it's effectively you load into the match and the match can already be halfway going. You're not replacing somebody, but you're just in addition to the team. That's not a bad thing, that's good, because it keeps the game effectively going, and there's constantly a lot of people, and the matches are humongous, so it's a good game, right? That's one of the major issues behind why Paladins is bad. Because if, you know, somebody disconnects or something happens, deal with either an AFK player or a bot. Fucking useless. But, you know, the issue with the other one on the other side, Team Fortress, there is no matchmaking, okay? It is like, you're plopped in. There'll be people worse than you, people better than you. The issue, if people absolutely dominate you, it's not a fun game. You know, you got a lot of people that will tell you, matchmaking sucks, don't have skill-based matchmaking. I fundamentally believe there should be a level of skill-based matchmaking in all of these sorts of games. Maybe not like Battle Royales because of the way that they work, but I hope Battle Royales anyway. But it effectively forces you to play the game constantly and consistently enough to be capable and competent at it so you can compete against other players that know life of the game, or it's the only game they play. You know? So if you are not able to keep it that sort of standard, then you will struggle and often get dominated, and then the game gets less fun. That's not to say that Team Fortress 2 is not a fun game. It's an amazing game made by amazing developers, and a lot of people consider it to be one of their favorite games. Just for me, I find that an aspect that I dislike about the game. It's not a bad decision by any means, but that's a reason that pushes me away. Due to the nature of the game being like from 2012 or early or something around there. I don't know exactly when, but it's a very old game. And so my point being is when you've got a lot of people that have played it for a long fucking time, a lot of people know the ins and outs of the game and are quite sweaty. So whenever I'd pop in, I didn't do terribly because you can transfer a lot of, you know, basic FPS skills from it. But you're still going to be fundamentally a trillion times worse than the people that have been playing it for even half its life. So it's a good game, and I think it's in a fundamentally better state than Paladins and Overwatch is, by a trillion%. But it's not my kind of game, I don't think. So yeah, that's what I dislike about it. Now, I'm not going to state anywhere near the same for Team Fortress, but Call of Duty players often complain about skill-based matchmaking, go, ooh, it's this bad thing. I hate skill-based matchmaking because everybody's good at the game. But it's a case of, if you keep playing Call of Duty games, you're going to enjoy it because you're going to just dominate bitches. The issue is if you're trying to get into Call of Duty, and you know that you get into those games that have no skill-based matchmaking, it fucking sucks. You know, I was late to a couple of Call of Duty games, and fuck me, it was horrid. Okay, I've played Call of Duty games when they've just released, and I did fine, and it was enjoyable, but I was constantly having to play. As soon as I stopped, I was fucking struggling, you know? And it's one of those things, if you're late to the party, a lot of people can transfer those skills, but if you're late to the party, you're not going to have a good time. So that's my thoughts. I think the saving grace of Team Fortress 2 is the wide amount of people who are in each match. I think the fact that you'll be versing like 32 by 32 or something like that, I don't know entirely. All I know is a lot more than 6 by 6 or 8 by 8 or whatever you want to go by, right? Or 5 by 5. It's a lot more than, like, you know, Paladins, Overwatch fucking teams, which I think are fundamentally wrong, bad. And I think if Paladins and Overwatch didn't have skill-based matchmaking, which arguably they don't, because half the time you put against fucking level 999, there is a bit of skill-based matchmaking going on, but they still fucking dominate you. Because you don't get level fucking 999 in, like, the middle of the night. That requires, so, like, literally thousands of hours. So yeah, that was a small tangent. On the contrary, if you're referring to Titanfall 2, I absolutely love that game. I also have the same fucking thoughts on the multiplayer in that game, but the multiplayer is kind of dodgy, so... But the story of Titanfall 2 is one of the best video game stories of all time. Hands fucking down. Yeah, I still play Valorant. I was like, heck Hawaii. Yeah. There's some I have thoughts on all those. Paladins, yeah, there's a lot. It's fundamentally could be a fine game, but yeah. Favorite series, I think I kind of have to keep it real. Witcher again. I'm not a series-based game player, really. Like, I don't think, like, there's a lot of games that I play the series of, but I like the series of Forza Horizon, but I wouldn't consider it to be the best games out there at all. Nor my favorite series. Grand Theft Auto, I've got, you know, a couple of those. I've played Liberty City Stories, the fucking, I don't know. It's one of those. I can't remember. I used to play that one on mobile, and then I've played some of the old ones that I emulated, and then I've got 4 and I've got 5. I think I emulated 3, but it was like 2D3, not the 3D3. Anyway, so yeah. I could see Cyberpunk being a contender once they start popping that out, but for now, for the time being, definitely The Witcher. I love The Witcher and everything about it. And that's not just video game content either. You chose that door. They're always spooky. No, I can hear my dad either talking on the phone or something. He just got home. And so I don't want him, like, barging in and going, hello! Well, you probably will. And then this is gonna seem quite repetitive, but The Witch, no. I'm gonna change it this time. Just get they go indeed they do. I would honestly put Cyberpunk. Don't mind my bad handwriting. It's hard using a fucking mouse to type. You know what I mean? So, good thing this is mostly auditory, because I'm not getting the pictures. We are listening to, you know, The Witcher, but you hear me mostly listening to the Cyberpunk original score. I love Cyberpunk. I love The Witcher original score, and I think it's one of the greatest. In terms of its... Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Hello?
I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, I'm stressed. Oh no. Sorry. Explain. I kind of burnt the pizza. I was having pizza. I was making it. It said 15 to 18 minutes at 180 degrees on bench. Let's just say after 13 of those 15 to 18 minutes, it decided to burn. So, good thing I was there and sniffing it, but I did walk away for 10 seconds, so it did get burnt, because I was walking over to check. I was gonna go bring up your model, Amy, because you're messaging me at the same time I was cooking this. And I was gonna bring it up on my PC, and then I got halfway to my PC, and I'm like, nah, I should probably double check the pizza and stand by it just in case it burns in. Well, in that 10 seconds I walked to my, here and back, it burnt, so. A bit annoying. Regardless, there's other games that I would say are very tight. I wouldn't really call it a soundtrack, but I really liked Forza 5 music radio system. I don't know if you'd call it a soundtrack. It's a soundtrack, but it's not made by the game developers, really. Like, I don't know. Like, for example, Cyberpunk has a radio. It's made by the developers. It's using actual artists, but it's curated by the developers in the regards of they effectively getting these popular singers, and they're like, you know, you can make a song, sort of relate it to our game, make sure it fits our game, and then, you know, publish it for our game, and, you know, anybody can listen to it, right? Including on stream, hence why I can listen to that sort of stuff. But on the other side, you can't listen to the songs on, for example, Forza's radio, because it's just licensed. Same with Grand Theft Auto and stuff. So, I think, unironically, Warframe has some actually amazing songs. Some, not everything, and I did vibe with a lot of them, but I don't know. I'll give my reasoning. I'm just quickly looking over to see if there's anything. I think Starfield has some decent ones, but nowhere near the same level, in my opinion. Good, but Skyrim has some amazing and very iconic songs. So I say, and I can't really remember Red Dead songs. I don't think Red Dead songs were too amazing in the regards of they're good, but they're not memorable for me. So I think I think of all time, I would probably put it at Cyberpunk, and then I'd probably put Witcher, then Skyrim. But I think Witcher and Skyrim are pretty interchangeable for me. It's just I've played, you know, how much Witcher, and then I've played how much Skyrim. I'll end up having to replay Skyrim if I want to replay it, because of I had mods and then moved PC and then different mods, so it kind of fucks up the game files. So I'll have to replay it without mods, and this time try mods after I finish a game instead of while I'm starting to learn to play the game. So yeah, that's that. So Cyberpunk's my favorite, and I don't think I went over it, but it has the variety, okay? If you've listened to some of my streams, you've probably heard some of it. They have a wide variety of different songs, you know, very wide. And most of these games do have a wide variety of songs and music. But I think Cyberpunk's the widest, because it's got districts, right? It's got, you know, the Valentinos, Pacifica, you know, it's got the Japantown and shit. Because of that, they have a lot that fits like a wide genre, you know, they're not sticking to anything, and then the radio stations are obviously very wide as well, you know. And then on top of that, you've got, you know, like Growl FM, which is, you know, songs made by the community. Yeah, literally. I don't know if I can play that on stream. I would if I could, but I don't know. Just because unreleased, which means I don't know how it's licensed. So yeah. Like, they went pretty ham. They even have, you know, music made by, you know, fans of the game, so. Warframe. Wait, is it unreleased in the sense of... Wait, what do you mean by that? So it is played in the mission. Oh, I dropped my drink bottle. I didn't know that. Look at that. Hey Needle though. How you doing? We're doing one of these about you. Is it here though? Maybe not. Alright, well I'll show you guys the song that we're referring to, but I hopefully don't get reported. Well, not reported, but you know what I mean. Video taken down or anything like that. It's got such a vibe. So good. I'm bringing the report button right now. I don't know if this is too loud. I say as I turn it off. I'm filling up my drink bottle, so you guys are going to be listening to it while I fill it up. Good vibe. The song's really nice. Let's just say they go hard, dude. Especially Marston, he's fucking amazing. Alright, audio plays off. I don't want it playing random shit. So yeah, I think you can see the picture of why I love Silent. That's fucking amazing. Favorite protagonist. This is gonna be quite repetitive. It will change. Favorite protagonist? Geralt. But, okay. Geralt's still my favorite. No, Amy. Geralt's my favorite, but that may be influenced by the fact that I've seen a lot of content, including out of video game content. I think it's still my favorite. He's still my favorite. But this is my current favorites. I don't know if this is like, you know, a couple years ago favorite. You know what I mean? Like, before I read all the books and watched all the shows and all that shit. Now, the shows are pretty shite, but I've watched them. And I will watch them. But media is media. It's shit, but I'm still listening to it. You know what I mean? It keeps going. We like it. Now, favorite villain. This is where we might start splitting things up. It's a tie for me. First one. G-O-D. Gonna put those there. Or is it? That wouldn't go there, that'll go there. Not God, Gaunt or Dim. Witcher, once again. Arthur Morgan. I never played enough. Arthur Morgan was alright. I didn't play enough of the game for him to be good. I would have to finish the game, I think, for me to overly enjoy Arthur Morgan. I know the ending and it gets better, but I'm still in, I think, the second, I think, if I recall correctly, there's 5 like stages to the game, and I'm still in the second. The first one being the tutorial. That's the whole, you know, you're going through the thing, you rob the train. That's first stage, and then I don't know where the second stage goes up to, but I'm still in the second one. He's good. I like him, but I don't know if favorite villain is Dr. Wallace Breen from Half-Life series. I haven't played enough of the Half-Life series. I've like played through a bit of it, but it's good. There's just 2 reasons why. I played it the first time. It was on my shit laptop, and I didn't have access to a mouse that really worked with the game. And it was just a shit experience for me. The game itself was a good experience. It was just moving the mouse was pain. It was a pain for like most games at that point. This was like, you know, this laptop couldn't run Minecraft, okay? Just, you know, I want to preface that. So, any game wasn't that great back then. And then recently I tried playing it, but then it was on my Steam Deck, and then I realized that I cannot play fucking those sorts of games. I cannot play any shooter without aim assist. So, but I do like the game. I think the game's really good, and I think it's very. It deserves the popularity it has and gets. So, but I'll have to spend some time and put the hours in to finish it at some point. But for the meantime, favorite villain, Gaunter Dim. He's very amazing. I don't want to say too much. He's the first character you meet. He's in a lot of cutscenes in the background in the expansion, the Heart of Stone expansion, that is, and he is just fucking amazing. The overall vibe and feel of him is just amazing in the expansion. I just don't want to spoil too much for anybody who wants to play the game. But I think it was just like the perfect for me after doing a little bit of research outside of the game on Gaunter Dim, and it's like it was, you know, it just made him a whole much bigger and better of a character on top. He was amazing before, and he's like a whole nother level now. I don't want to say too much about it, but there's a reason we call him G.O.D. for a reason, Gaunter Dim. But this ties with another person. This is where we leave the whole CDPR shit. I don't know if that's how you spell it. Vaas from Far Cry 3. Would I say... Obviously, this is games that I've fucking played, okay? So there's possibly other villains that would, you know, be on the same level if I had played it and enjoyed it. But this is games that I've played, and I don't think Vaas is an overly controversial character. You know, I don't think this is a controversial, you know, placement here. Vaas is amazing. You know, you ever seen fucking this guy? Far Cry 3, I did spell it right. This guy, Vaas Montenegro. Real villain as yourself. He's insane. The acting, like, the actor for this guy is just, he's insane. Like, there's a full-on, like, not animated, there's a full-on, like, live series, small and shit, where he acts in it, and he just is, like, you know, you think he's insane in the game? He's just as insane in this live action. He's literally, yeah. It's crazy. So, if you guys ever want to see some, like, short, quick, but awesome content, check out the live action. Top fucking shit. It just, like, a whole nother level, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck. Like, homie's not acting. He's serious. But, you know, he's got some really iconic quotes, and he's a very iconic character. And it just really makes you think, you know what I mean? I don't want to also spoil any of these too much, so... And I haven't played Far Cry 3 and fucking Yonkers, so I don't want to say too much and then be completely wrong. Stop looking at me! But yeah. Do you know the definition of insanity? He's insane. So I don't remember exactly how any of the quotes go, but yeah, if you want amazing quotes, and I would argue probably the best quotes from any game, play Far Cry 3. It's insane. It's my favorite Far Cry game. Really the only one that I've played. I've played a bit of some of the other ones, but never enough to get as far in as I did with this one. Moving along, best story. I'll chalk it up again as probably The Witcher. I think The Witcher, in particular Heart of Stone, I think Heart of Stone was actually even better for me than the main story. Red Dead made you cry. How much did you get through Red Dead? Red Dead, I think, would. If I got through, I know the ending, of course. I think it's hard by now to have not known the ending, but I don't really care about spoilers. But if I played through the game fully, and I had the time to do it, there's two. Yeah, I know the other one. It's the protagonist from the first game, isn't it? It's insane. What the fuck? League of Legends. Oh no. Yeah, I think Red Dead would be extremely... I just need the time. I've been so busy with assessments. I think I'm gonna continue playing. I played a little bit this year, of course. You probably noticed that. I think I streamed it even. I'm not sure, but Red Dead's insane. I think that's like one of the. Well, I don't think I know that's one of the best fucking things. It's just such a long game, and I say that as I'm trying to complete, you know, Cyberpunk and The Witcher, but those are like my go-to fucking games. So fair fucking enough. But I know Red Dead Redemption. I know the kind of game it is. And it is fundamentally the perfect kind of game for me. The same as The Witcher and the same as Cyberpunk. I think fundamentally they are very similar games. In the same regard as I would put Red Dead Redemption, very similar game to those two games, but I wouldn't consider, you know, GTA to be similar to The Witcher. I also wouldn't consider Valhalla to be similar to The Witcher, but I would consider Red Dead very similar, even though they all fit in within similar genres and shit. But I'd put GTA, I guess, closer to Cyberpunk, but yeah. Honey Pop is good too, can't neglect that. Oh no. I don't, do I have Honey Pop? I've seen it, but I don't think I own it. I don't. Oh, I spelled it wrong as well, was it? No, I don't. I have a couple friends who have it, I do know that for sure. Don't have Hentai Aim Trainer. Speaking of, I'm not gonna point any fingers or anything. I was looking through my activity feed on Steam. Let's just say one of my friends has now acquired a Femboy Aim Trainer. You heard me right. Femboy Aim Trainer. Wasn't me, by the way. Can I just state that, okay? But, yeah. I didn't know that existed. I'm like, what? And then I clicked onto the link. And don't click on that link, dude. It's not worth it. Let's just say if you're buying the game because it interests you, you're going to be having a good time. You wouldn't know, Amy. It's funny though. I would say it's a tricky one. But yeah, in terms of the best story, I'd say The Witcher. Witcher, hands down for me. I would say it's a hard one though. As I mentioned before, Titanfall 2 is extremely close on that list, and I think Cyberpunk's very close on that list as well. I really enjoyed Cyberpunk. You can fucking tell. Cyberpunk. Literally Cyberpunk cheer. You know, if I had my fucking Cyberpunk fucking shit, I'm ordering a Cyberpunk poster actually currently. So I like my shit, okay, but I think which is a bit better. Shadow War had a promising story, but the end was whack. Yeah, I heard. I never finished Shadow War, but I don't know about the Shadow War story. I don't think I got far enough into it. I got 16 hours into it. I don't know how long it is. Probably long, considering most of my friends have 30 plus, 40 plus of it. So I probably didn't get too far into it. I got into like the new area, I think. But, well, and you got the 3 different characters, I think, as well. So probably doesn't help either. But I gotta say, some of... Oh, I hurt myself. Some of the best combat of any game would be Shadow of War. Some. It was oddly fucking insane how good the combat in that game is. Gameplay is still one of my favorites, yeah. It's got insane shit. Especially, speaking of, we were doing on Wednesday, so yesterday, we were having a talk in class where it was a lecture, and they were talking about I probably should know what we were talking about, but I wasn't really paying too much attention, to be honest. I was like half focused, half not. Half of it was going in one ear and half of it was coming out the other, you know what I mean? But they did mention I think it was talking about like it's always about like shit in games, and I think a lot of it was about cameras and shit. Ultra Kill is a good game. I'd recommend it. I think it's on sale right now, so if you have the money, dude, you might be. It might be now when you want to get it if you got the money. Ultra Kill, unless it's not on sale. It was on sale when I last checked. It's still on sale. Offer ends in 9 hours, so if you got the money, I don't know what it is converted into your currency. I just liked Ghost Runner myself. Albeit they're similar games, Ghost Runner is start from the start, whereas Ultra Kills start at a checkpoint, which I prefer myself. But Ghost Runner, I really like the vibe of Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner's a sick game. And vibes. And they're working on a new one, I think, Ghost Runner 2, unless they've already completed that one. So I'm intrigued to see it, because Ghost Runner, for me, was like, it was like one of those games that was like, when it came out, it was like visually, you know what I mean? It was insane. Like, I still think it's like an insanely good, like, high quality looking game. Ghost Runner, that is. So to me, it was like one of those games I'm like, holy shit. Like, you guys seen that game that fucking, oh, what's it called? It starts with a U, I think. It'll be, speaking of Titanfall 2, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Well, not just saying, I mentioned that before. Titanfall 2, 100% one of the greatest stories I've ever played. It's like a fucking, like, it's, yeah, that one did as well for me. That one was actually fucking sad. It was so sad. Oh, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I really wasn't. I have too many games on here. Unrecord. You guys know Unrecord and its fucking trailer and shit and how insane it looks? Like, what the fuck? To me, Ghost Runner was kind of like, at the time... Is it out? No, 3 weeks. To me, this isn't as much of a jump, honestly. But Ghost Runner 1... I have it on... I played it on GOG. I don't think I played it really at all on here. On Steam. But to me, the launch of it... Like, it was just the visuals of the game is like... Whoa. Like, I got this on my old PC, and it was like the first fucking top tier looking game, dude. And it's not even like a AAA, you know? So I was just like, fuck, this game's insane. But yeah, Titanfall 2 is a very tight with. If I were given 3 choices for this story that I can think of off the top of my head, Witcher, Cyberpunk, Titanfall on the same fucking level. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be The Witcher, probably Heart of Stone, with just, you know, what's in my head at the moment. But Titanfall 2, in fucking sane. Okay. It's short, it's like 9 hours, 8 hours. I would say it's a must play for everybody, but I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody likes fast-paced shooters. But I think for me, it was a little bit differently. A lot of people liked, without spoiling too much, there's a specific part of the game that revolves different parts, you know, going back and forth. Not back and forth literally, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That's what a lot of people consider to be the best part. Well, maybe not the best part, but some of the better parts of the game. To me, I found that really repetitive, but the story itself was fucking insane. Yeah. But it requires so much work to get to that point, but even, like, putting in a bit of work, it's a very satisfying game. Am I gonna play a game? Good lol. Yeah, literally, when am I gonna play a game? Probably after I finish this. I haven't decided what game I want to play yet, so we'll figure it out when we do this. But that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, yeah. So that's a very tight contender for that. Have not played but want to. It's a very hard question. To me, I know exactly one, but I'm just going to quickly squeeze through my thing. Now, the game that's on my mind currently is maybe Anti-Aim Trainer. Don't spoil it! Okay, dude. There's a couple games that I want to, but I guess there's one that's like probably one above the rest, but there's a good reason as to why. I'll put it like this. I have enough money and games revolve around my future job and my current, you know, bachelor degree to the point where I can easily reason to myself on why I should get any game that I want to play, but I obviously restrict myself. I really want to play fucking Armored Core. But I have most games that I want to play. If I want to play a game and I have the money and I'm not like too tight at that current point, I'll probably purchase it and play it. Because every game to me is like a study, you know what I mean? I'm studying the game, I'm looking at what's good, what's bad, and I judge it and play a game. I'll play a game later, Chief. I want to roll through this at the moment. Maybe look back in maybe 30 minutes or an hour if you want to see me play. I'm just a bit too tired for like playing hard games right now. But I'd say the game right now, so yeah, sorry to disappoint, Chief. The game that would be GOT, Ghost of Tsushima. So I just go Ghost of Ghost of Tsushima, obviously. It fits into a couple games that I like, but also I can't play it. It's PlayStation exclusive, and I'm not buying a fucking PlayStation to buy. I wouldn't buy a PlayStation for exclusives. I wouldn't buy a Nintendo for exclusives. I would not purchase a device for exclusives because exclusives go against what I agree with. Within reason. Within reason. I, as somebody who develops games, as for the most part a hobby at the moment, albeit going fully professional in the future, assuming all goes well, know how fucking, to an extent, know how hard it is to make games for multiple things, and including like porting and shit like that. Against child labor, but I still buy stuff from China. Yeah. But I'm against shit in the sense of, to make something for a Nintendo, right, is it insanely hard in the sense of, I was watching a talk. This itself, in comparison, would effectively be capping off the Nintendo Switch's power once it loads. Don't quote me on this, but from what I understand, from talks to people that have made games and ported it to thing, according to them, if I went like this, and I went like this, and I went like this for... Oh. Maybe not that. If I went like that. Okay, so we've got an HDRI of some form. We've got an area light that can be used to light something, you know what I mean? And then we've got whatever the fuck this is. A photometric light. I don't really know anything about photometric lights myself. I just went to, for example, rendering instead and went and got directional light instead. This itself would effectively be as much as performance as you can get out of the Switch. Adding those three things, 3 lights, okay? Anything more than 3 lights will kill your Switch. You have to use a mission. So, if I'm rendering something, I'm generally using more than 3 lights just to render said thing. 2 at least. So, having a whole scene with just 3 lights is kind of insane. So, yeah. That's why I think, to some extent, I don't agree with a lot of stuff. But yeah, I don't think exclusivity should realistically be a thing. It's just bad practice in my, thought. You're literally restricting the amount of audience that your game will have. The only reason that you would go out of your way to do that is if you don't think you can get the audience on other platforms. Okay, so if you make a relatively average open world RPG, do I walk with a stick? Sometimes. I'm not calling, the Zelda games bad, open world RPGs. Richard look down on the poor, yeah. I'm not calling the Zelda games bad or anything like, that shit. But, so this isn't, regarding that game. But if I wanted to make a game and I couldn't promise that it could I couldn't guarantee that it would compete against, for example, GTA, Witcher, and all those ones, then, I could make a game and, publish it for Switch, as Switch doesn't have too many big open world RPG games, so the games and shit that you will be competing against are a lot smaller, right? Yeah, there's a lot smaller of an audience on Switch, so there's a lot less games, on there that would be able to compete. So I would say it kind of depends. But that's the only real reason that I could see you choosing, outside of getting paid bank for publishing on said thing, said console or launcher, e.g. Ubisoft publishing onto Epic Games, even though they're losing pretty much the majority of any audience that they could be gaining, so they're having to recycle their own audience, which isn't going to make the games any bigger. It will just spawn the variety. You can't gain an audience from an said audience that you already have. You will only lose audience, as your audience will not always be interested in the exact same games that you produce. So unless you can somehow enlarge that audience, but by restricting it to Epic Games, which is a very small platform in terms of people that use it for as a launcher outside of the free games and Fortnite, you're heavily restricting it. So, bad decision in my eyes. Oh, I mean, they're making bank from it, but you're losing the audience. So you kind of have to, balance the weights here, because if you have too much bank but no audience, as soon as the bank gets cut off, you're done. You know what I mean? Your game's dead. Your whole fucking franchise is dead, so. Ubisoft has to tread carefully due to their decisions. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima isn't available on PC. I think it's a matter of time. That's the next game. If there's a game that's going to get ported that I don't have access to at the moment, that I'd probably instantly purchase would be Ghost of Tsushima. Don't know, maybe I won't like it. Maybe it won't be my kind of game, but that's the game that would make me go, yeah, instant purchase. It wouldn't be instant, knowing me, but I'd probably mull over it for a couple weeks and then purchase it. You love that everyone hates. Good fucking question. There's not many games that I don't think I play. Like, for example, Paladins, right? I would say Paladins is it. I don't love Paladins anymore, though. And I don't love Warframe anymore. Warframe, kind of, compared to Destiny. I would probably say the best choice for this one would be... yeah, sad face, unfortunately. I'm just trying to say... yeah. I already know my fucking answer. Starfield, for obvious fucking reasons. Let's be honest, everybody hates Starfield. It was literally a craze hating on Starfield. Is the game perfect? No. It's still a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. It's a very good game. And that's going by not the general, that's going by, 10 being fucking perfect, 1 being shite, and then 5 being an average game. I think it's a solid 8 or 9. It's not 10, though. Definitely not. I'd say maybe like an 8.5 if I was allowed it. Very solid title, but has fundamental issues with it. But I think the story and the fundamental aspects of the game are good enough to the point where, they could fix all the bugs, they could touch up a couple things. The game's still going to be a very good game, and it's not fundamentally changing, the same as Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk never fundamentally changed as a game. It's still the same game it was before. They've just added and improved said things. So, Cyberpunk itself fundamentally hasn't changed. So when people say, oh, Cyberpunk's such a good game now, or, Cyberpunk was so shit back in the day, no, the game's fundamentally the same back then as it is now. It's just been improved, refined, and, feel like that. So, it's changed, but it's not changed too much. I no longer walk. Exactly, so it's been very optimized. I've added a couple things, but it's mostly just been improved upon. The story's the same, the characters are the same, it's still the same like that. I play it like Dying Light. I've been getting into your fucking throwing weapons, and it's been actually kind of fun. So, and you hate that everyone... Oh yeah, and Forza Horizon 5. So yeah, I really like Starfield. I need to play more, but I'm just trying to get through Cyberpunk with the new DLC, and then I've kind of convinced myself to continue playing The Witcher. Forza Horizon 5, I would say some aspects of the games are fundamentally getting worse, but I also think there are a lot of things that are getting better. Is the game perfect? No, by any means, no. But Forza Horizon is a very unique kind of feeling game, and unique kind of game. You've got lots of open world driving games, and you've got lots of simulators. And it's not a simulator, but it's a simcade, and it's one of the best feeling simcades I've played. There's some that are a bit more, intense, for the likes of Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport. You've got some really arcadey games like what's it called? Need for Speed. And then you got hardcore sims like Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, Automobilista, and shit like that. But you know, for it's like small portion of being nowhere near a simulator, but also not being fucking Need for Speed, you know, turning corners at 300 kilometers per hour. I guess you could do the same in Forza a little bit, but you sort of get the picture. It feels very nice. If you don't look at it like it's a simulator and go, this feels unrealistic, no shit. But even playing with the wheel, you know, Assetto Corsa doesn't feel like an actual, like I'm driving a fucking car. You know what I mean? With a wheel and pedal setup, it doesn't feel like I'm, you know, driving a car. I literally own my own car. I've driven, you know, fucking tens of cars by now. Not hundreds, but tens. Like, you know, manual, non-manual, you know, fast, slow, you know, big, massive trucks and small hatchbacks. I've driven a good amount of shit, so... And, no, it doesn't feel like that. I unless you had, like, a direct drive wheel and shit, and you had a fucking expensive setup, but even then, I've driven in one of those ones with, you know, even the moving fucking simulator shit, and still doesn't feel, you know, thing for thing, but it's about as close as you're gonna get, so... You know, it feels good, but it's obviously still needs some mix. It's not just the game's fault, it's also the wheel's fault and shit, so it's a mix of a couple things. And you hate that everybody loves. There's a couple games, but need them G's as well. You cannot simulate, you possibly could simulate G's, but it's so hard, like, G's are such a fundamental part to driving. You take a single corner and you know what I mean, you know? So, games that I hate that everybody loves is a tricky one. Yeah, well, let's try to simulate. Yeah, so hop on a fucking Bugatti and like floor it, see how that goes, you know? Yeah, Noodle, what color's your Bugatti? What game do I... he did. What game do I hate? See, if Ruben was here, he would say God of War. I do not hate God of War, I just don't think it's a very good game, fundamentally. I liked the older God of Wars, I don't think the new God of Wars are... I like Ghost Runner, I just didn't... It wasn't my kind of game, I thought it was a good game, it just wasn't my kind of game. Because Ghost Runner's... each level of Ghost Runner, I would, like, think of it as the same way as that I look at a roguelite. You fuck up, you're back at the start, you know what I mean? Except you're progressing through the game. So, and the issue is that any small fuck up causes you get back to the start, and some levels take a minute to get through, so... You know, once you're redoing the same level 20 fucking times in a row, I get pissed off. It's also why I can't play Dark Souls. Albeit I have, you know, Elden Ring and shit, but I used something to make it easier. A game... Like, yeah. I mean, short thing, but God of War, I don't think is a very good game. I think it's a good interactive experience, but I don't think in it from a game point of view, I don't think it's a fundamentally very great game. And interactive experience, but I don't feel it's that much of a game, you know what I mean? I don't look at it as a game, I look at it as an interactive experience. Because that's what it really is. With the amount of cutscenes and shit, I think it's one of the most, you know, cutscene heavy games out there. So, and that's what I believe with a lot of those PlayStation titles these days. So, I have a good chunk of the PlayStation titles that have popped out on PC, and they're all fucking interactive experiences. With some exceptions, but I still think a lot of them suffer some fundamental issues that are mostly... Like, I do also kind of believe that I don't think the games would all be as popular as they are if they weren't PlayStation exclusives. I do think God of War would, because God of War wasn't, I don't know if it was always a PlayStation exclusive, but the old ones were like really good. But for example, like, what was it, that zombie game, Gone, or Days Gone or something, that wasn't that fundamentally of a great game. I don't think it would be anywhere near as popular as it is if it wasn't PlayStation exclusive. I would say if I were to put, I don't know, I think I had another one that was on my mind, but I don't remember it. So for now, it's just gonna be Terraria. I don't like Terraria. I could argue Minecraft, but Genshin, yes. Genshin. I'd probably put Genshin above Terraria in terms of being bad. I don't like Minecraft as it is now, but I still think it's a very good game. League. Okay, here's my opinion, okay? Hey, we love Hentai Channel. I think League is a good game. I think the community of League is what ruins it. I have not had bad experiences with League itself. I've had bad experiences with the community. Same with Rainbow Six Siege. I got reported for doing bad in a training match against bots. Like, what? I didn't even do that bad. I had, you know, more than fucking 1 kill. But it's bots. Don't complain about somebody's 3rd day playing the game when you're versing bots, okay? If it's against other players, understandable. I still don't think you should be reported for doing bad, okay? That's the game's terrible nature. Okay, here's the funny thing. The fact Homie was playing with me means his elo was so shit and he was so bad at the game that he was just as good as somebody who'd been playing for 3 fucking days. Take the L, loser. You're bad at the game. I wasn't even that bad. It was my first time playing a character. And I was just I didn't even do that bad. Like, I wasn't like 0-10. I had like an alright amount of kills. I was playing support, I think. So, and Homie wasn't even playing AD carry. Okay, my friend was playing AD carry and he was teaching me the character. So I don't know why Homie was fucking complaining. But, because I think that guy was playing top. So he was on the other side of the fucking map. So Homie was just bad at the game, I think. You have to be fundamentally bad at the game if you struggle to verse bots with new fucking players, okay? If I play Paladins and I'm versing bots, I can carry the team, even if it's a shit team, unless they're completely feeding, which I fucking wasn't even doing anyway. But it doesn't matter if you feed, because, to an extent, because you split into 3 lanes, even if my lane's fucking up, if he can go up top lane, beat the fucking shit out of top lane bot, then he's obviously going to feed himself a bit, and then he's going to dominate top lane. And you only need to win through 1 lane, okay? And AD carry with support is a 2-person lane, which means even if I was doing bad, my other homie was doing pretty fucking solid. So we weren't losing the lane either. I don't even think we lost that match either. So, I don't know. Homie was complaining about fucking diddly shit. But yeah, so League I don't think is bad itself. I think the community is just actually the fucking scum of the earth. Not saying that everybody who plays the game is bad, but the community itself is just fundamentally fucking terrible. There are bad people that play the game though. Terraria, I think, isn't a bad game. I just hate it. It's got very terrible tutorial. I had no clue what I was doing. I have like 10 hours into the game. I was playing with somebody. I think part of my distaste to the game is partly due to them. how many hours? I got 10 hours. We would do shit, and you know, she'd kind of carry us to various bosses and shit like that. I had no clue what I was doing for the whole 10 hours. But I've also played it without her, and it was still a shit game. I didn't like it at all. I didn't know what I was doing. It's got no sense of explaining it. There's just random bosses and enemies that pop out of nowhere with no real explanation. There's a bit of explanation to shit, but it kind of throws you in the deep end. In Minecraft, it's fine because Minecraft doesn't really have an end, or there's no, like, you know, back when I was playing, there wasn't Nether, and then they added Nether, and then Nether was a fucking box that would spawn in, okay? Yeah, it was a box of, like, netherite or whatever it's called, the red shit. So, and then at some point it changed to being a portal, and you teleport through the portal. And then they added the end, and the end dragon and shit like that. But for my gameplay of when I was playing the game, it was before Nether, and then it was after Nether was added, but as a box. And then I stopped playing, and then some point when I had stopped playing, they had added Nether actual portal, and then Nether end, and shit like that. So, yeah, I played it a fucking long time ago. Because I don't like shit like stamina and, you know, all that shit. And food. Well, food is the stamina, I guess. I can't remember. Oh, and XP. I don't mind XP, but I really hate the food. I think at one point when I stopped, they added XP but not food. And that's kind of, I think I stopped as soon as they added food, and not long after that. Oh, I think, no, because there was a part when I stopped playing, and then I went back, and that's when, and there was the Nether portal by then. They had just been adding the thing. Anyway, I don't need to go too much into that. Minecraft, kind of, you didn't have to worry about random shit happening and there being an overarching goal to the game, because at that point in time, there wasn't, like, any winning. It was just build your own shit. Terraria, you want to go around, like, I guess the fundamental goal of the game is to go around and kill those fucking bosses and shit. I mean, you look at the fucking achievements, okay, and tell me it's not killing bosses. I don't know if you can win the game, per se, but, and you don't have to focus on that. But also, how the fuck do you get the resources, you know what I mean? It doesn't fundamentally explain that much. Minecraft's a very simple game, but that also is why I dislike Minecraft. Because it got boring, because it was the same fucking thing, and I played it for like 3-4 fucking years straight. And then Genshin's just a shit game. Its story isn't great, the gameplay is fucking horrid. There's so many fundamental issues with it. Take everything with a grain of salt here. Okay, in the sense of, just because I call it shit doesn't mean I could create something better than it, okay? But if I was to rate the games, I could explicitly tell you what's wrong with the game and what I would do to improve it. I mean, the first key thing that comes to mind is gacha. Gacha's fucking terrible. I don't think it should be in any game. But I value gacha over no fucking gacha, and it just be good fucking luck. Have a good one. But yeah, sort of get what I mean. Best art style is a really tricky one for me. Because what would you define art style? Is something that looks realistic an art style? Yes. But is that really the point of the question? Are we talking about the atmosphere of a game? I think Cyberpunk has one of the best atmospheres of the game, and I think it's, like, artistically one of the greatest looking games. But would that count? Same with Red Dead Redemption. I feel it's one of the most realistic looking games. But, yeah, what do I like? The look of the most? I'd probably have to say Cyberpunk. I think it's if I look at a game and I'm like, fuck me, this looks insane. Cyberpunk. But if I look at it from, like, you know, what a normie, not normie, but you know what I mean? We'll just go 2077. But if I look at it from, like, you know, art style, I'm not sure what I would do. Like, in terms of not being, like, like trying to replicate real life. But obviously replicating real life is, yeah, I'd probably say hentai. I'm not sure what I would actually do though. I don't play too many of those sorts of games that aren't Dragon Ball Z. I played Kakarot, but I could never really get into it. But if I was trying to look at it something like stylized in its own regard, say Paladins, but not the game paintings they've made. Yeah, they make some really nice stuff. I really gotta start scrolling. Jesus Christ, and we're already up to fucking here. I also don't want to, like, this whole thing, everything about this is pure bias, but I also don't want to go, like, pure bias. Like, I could say, oh, what's it fucking called? I literally scrolled past it just before. Dredge. Oh, you're good. Dredge has an insane art style, but also it's made by Christchurch developers, so there's a bit of personal home bias there. But I also don't know if I would classify it as. I also believe that but it's not a believe. I know this isn't completely indicative of the completion of games. I've completed a multitude of games, but there is no, completion achievement, or B, it's just an all-along game. I mean, literally scrolling through right in front of me, Melatonin. I've finished this game, 78 minutes. Good game. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really good buy, but it's a very short game. It's a rhythm game. I'm not sure, honestly. I would say Cyberpunk, but if I had to choose a game by... I'd almost say Outer Worlds if I enjoyed it more than I did. I never finished it. I need to put more time into it, but I didn't really understand the game. I was like, what am I trying to do here? Like, what is my goal? If I were to do one, it had to be stylized, it would probably be Monument Valley, which here it says I've only got a little bit of time, an hour. I was actually doing it as a game study the other day ago, but I have finished the game on mobile, and it's a very unique but interesting styled game. So if I was to do stylize, it'd be Monument Valley. I think I spelled it wrong, but I don't have enough space anyway. You know what? You are the reason I choose this. Don't fuck me, I can't spell. Titanfall is probably my favorite ending. I really like The Witcher, but The Witcher's ending wasn't great. Tearjerker. It really is. I probably, like, it is always going to be my favorite ending. I think one of my favorite endings. But I probably don't know if I would have fully considered it. Well, like, I considered it, but I don't know if I would have really been if I would have remembered too much of it. The Titanfall 2 just hit. It was one of those ones that's just really moving, and it was really moving for me. But so Witcher's not like, it doesn't give you an ending. It gives you like it's just like slides, right? And it tells you, you've done this, you've done that, you've done that. Good thing Amy's gone because she's playing it right now. Oh, But it tells you, you know, the ending in like sort of like book form, to an extent. And I really liked the ending. I really liked some parts, but I don't think it was like it was a good ending, but I don't know if I'd consider it anywhere near Titanfall's. It's like you watch, depending on your ending, it can be really good or really bad. And I got a good ending. You do get a little bit of like, you know, actual playing. And it's like, you know, this is where you are. You do like for mine, they fixed the multiplayer. Yeah, they did, but I don't know to what extent. All I remember is like if you played it, it was like playing one of the old COD games where you get like your computer kills itself because there's a bunch of hackers on there. But there's that, and then somebody keeps trying to call me, but it's 00216. I'm not gonna say any more of their phone number, but it's not a New Zealand phone number. Is it just IP leaking? They're calling me, but I don't know where they're from. What's OR? Europe? What the fuck? Tunisia? I'm not gonna trust fucking Tunisia or whatever that is. Weird. But Cyberpunk's got a very good ending. It's a very sad ending. But like I'd consider I'd say my favorite one's Titanfall. But very close by would be Cyberpunk. Maybe not Witcher End, main game. Witcher, Heart of Stone DLC. Not because it's a very ominous ending. You got two endings. The ending that I got was very ominous. It's like an end to it, but it's not an end. If you catch my drift, it's an ending that opened that doesn't fully end the game, end the expansion. So it's just like it's like a temporary fix. Not saying too much, but I'd say Titanfall. Favorite boss fight is an extremely hard one because I don't think I really have a favorite boss fight. I don't think I've played a game where a boss has just been like, wow, this is really crazy. There's bosses that, like, you know, I'd say Gaunter Dim would be my favorite boss, but I don't think the boss fight was amazing. It was interesting, and it was all one big puzzle. It's like, hey, figure this out. You have a good one, Chief. Thank you for popping by and chatting. I can send this to you after I'm done if you're intrigued on the rest of the things. You'll be missing context, but you have a good sleep, and I will catch you next time, eh? One thing I would state, actually, before I forget, I'm going to be moving. So before you fully leave, we're moving. Not just my fucking setup again. We're fully moving houses. That's what I wanted to state, and I've been holding away, so you might have guessed it already. But yeah, house moving completely. That's why I've been moving all over the place, and I've been a bit, you know, all over the place as of recently. Also, been a bit stressed and shit, so that should be good. I was leaving it because I didn't want to say anything, you know, so it's a week before we move. So I didn't really want to say anything too soon, so obviously I'm not going to say too much on the matter, but if you're intrigued, Noodle, I can send you a couple pictures. We went there on Wednesday, so yesterday, and checked out the place, so it's a pretty cool place, but I'm obviously not showing anything on stream. That would be fundamentally stupid. So, yeah. Is it nicer? It's smaller, but it's nicer. So, it's a lot smaller. My room's not going to be too big either. I think it's 3 by 3. So, fair trade, yeah. It's it's not a much smaller house, but it's a decently smaller house, but it's you know, it'll be warmer. We've got a good amount of stuff. So some things are bigger, some things are smaller. Rooms are smaller. But I have a big room myself. Yeah, thank you. You have a good one, Chief. And we'll catch you next one. See y'all. But yeah, I don't know what I'd say in terms of my favorite boss fight. I don't think I have a favorite boss fight, honestly. Well, it's like, there's been good boss fights, but I can't think of anything that's like, for example, Elden Ring's got some really good boss fights, but I can't list something off the top of my head, so nothing's gotta be like that, you know, memorable to me. I really enjoyed Elden Ring, but I never finished it either, so. I'd say if anything would be memorable, it'd be the, what's her name? If you know Elden Ring, you probably know the person I'm talking about. So, I'm not sure what I would do for favorite boss fight. Because I don't really know. A memorable one as of recently would be Gabriel first version and Ultra Kill, but I don't know if I would consider it as a height of this. I was meant to play some Chivalry with Amy, but I think that's going to be too late and I'm going to be too tired. So, I don't know. We're going to leave it as a question mark. I don't think I have a favorite one. Favorite childhood game? Here's the thing. I don't play any games that I did, but if I don't know if it means still play that I played as a child, I wouldn't have one. But if I had a favorite game when I was a child, it'd be Minecraft. I think I stated that I played this for like multiple years on end when it first released, so. But I didn't like it, and I don't like it now, so. Favorite relaxing game is a tricky one. Albeit people state that games you need to have, everyone needs to have their own, in quotation, relaxing game. Well, not that you need, but it's good. I don't have a favorite relaxing game. I'm not a relaxing gamer. I like challenge in some form or another. But I would say, probably, Forza Horizon and FH5. I play the game in the sense of it's not necessarily completely relaxing, but if I want to like wind down, Forza's a good game because I get new car, I upgrade said car, I do a test drive of said car up the mountain and down the mountain. Do I like the car? Do I not like the car? And if I upgrade it, could I improve it? That's not fully upgrading. I usually go by the rule of A800 or S1900. But other contender would be Townscaper. It's not one that I go back to really that often, but I still think it's fundamentally one of my favorite ones. I think it's, if you want a game, I got 10 out. Oh, I don't have it installed. Oh, I mean, it's small enough. So I can quickly download it and show you what I mean. It's just it's a satisfying game. There's no difficulty to it. It's pure Now I won't have any of my stuff because everything saves locally, from what I understand. So I've lost my big shit. I have some of it apparently. I still have this. But I would assume, yeah, that's my only one. It's a game where you can just place shit, and it just auto does it. You can change the color, build some glue shit. And it's just satisfying, so you can build, you know, cities. Let me go here. We can add, like, you know, a little place there. Do like an owl shape. Maybe a little dingus up top. Maybe a high dingus up top. And have a little stilt. Have it going off, and we can reach it to the next place. Like, it's a fun game. It's just there's not much to do in it. So after about 10 hours, I was kind of struggling. But I think it's a game that's like a must play for everybody. At least once, even just doing like a little bit of chill time. So it's nice. And play around with the lighting. There's another game that's going to be similar to this for me. You can go like day, you can go morning, night. It's very good. Good artist to reference, yes. Oh, so we're up to, I think you missed a little bit, Amy. I can't remember how much. We did Titanfall 2 for the favorite ending. Oh, you saw? We got boss fight. Hopefully you didn't see too much, because I did sort of spoil the ending for Witcher in it. Not entirely, because there's multiple choice endings, but the fundamental ending of it. And then my backup would have been either probably The Witcher. Then favorite boss fight, but not The Witcher, Heart of Stone. I went a bit over that. Boss fight was trapped. Boss fight I couldn't decide. Minecraft was my favorite childhood game, but I don't like it as it is now. But I would be lying if I said it wasn't my favorite game growing up. Then Forza 5 and Townscaper. So, but I think Townscaper is like a must play for everybody. I think it's so good. Stressful game. A game that stresses me in Paladin. But my favorite stressful game. Would it be my favorite stressful game of all time? The game that like stresses me, that I'm not currently playing, but I think is my favorite game. That is a stressful game. Would have to be Elden Ring. Hands fucking down. It would be Elden Ring. I don't currently play Elden Ring, but I think Elden Ring's one of my favorite games that I've played. The Elden Ring's one of my favorite games that I've played. I really like the fundamental of it. I think it's fundamentally one of the greatest games. It's a very unique game, not just the type of game it is, but some niche parts of it that I think make it very interesting, and I really like that about it. I don't think it's like the favorite game that I've ever played, and I don't think it's. But I did really like the game, but I think there's some things that just don't really sit too great with me. Like I found the game very hard and challenging, very stressful. But it was a different game, and I liked that. Game that I always come back to is a tricky one. It would probably be here's the thing. These Witcher Paladins. My favorite one of the two is The Witcher. I do go back to The Witcher quite a lot. I haven't finished the game, but well, like I've finished the base game. I've finished the Heart of Stone. I have not finished Blood and Wine. I do want to preface that. I've not completed every side quest, nor have I completed every mission board, whatever it's called, contract. Do not have every armor. I do not have anything. In Cyberpunk, I've done almost all quests apart from one in the base game, and then I'm still getting through Phantom Liberty as we speak. I was playing it before I started streaming. There's one quest that I have, one side mission that I haven't completed, simply because this side mission is currently bugged and incompletable. And I've completed half the gigs available, and I haven't completed every NCPD or whatever. But those don't have story behind them, really. But I have completed every Cyber Psycho and shit like that, so I would put compared to Cyberpunk, which is not really close, but in terms of completion. But I love The Witcher. I come back to it. Currently coming back to it after maybe half a year of not really playing it. Because I've just really been getting into Cyberpunk, really. But I have the books. I have all of the books. I'm reading the books. I literally showed you guys the other day ago that I got the, the comic. I've been watching all the media in terms of Netflix. Not necessarily liking it, and I don't really put it anywhere near on the same level, nor following the same story, but that's still, I guess you have to put it under Witcher, and I still look into it. Paladins is a game that I dislike, and I come back to, but I don't come back to. I come back to mostly for you, Amy. I don't hate the game. I don't dislike it, but I don't feel. Here's the thing. Would I play Paladins in my spare time? No, I would only play it with you because I enjoy playing with you. It's not like I just like playing Paladins myself, but if I'm playing Paladins with you, Amy, I don't necessarily dislike the game as I'm playing with somebody that I enjoy playing with, and it's not that bad when I play with you. Unless it's like we're getting absolutely dominated and it's just a terrible experience for both of us. But, I don't dislike the game then. I'm not forcing myself to play it just to play with you. We could play other games if we really wanted to, but I don't mind playing Paladins with you. Actually, stuff right here, mister. Guilty pleasure. I mean, there's only one real answer here. Sexy fucking ladies. What can I say? No, it's not a game, unfortunately. Guilty pleasure, I find hard to define. What do you define as a guilty pleasure? I don't really know. Like, I can define guilty pleasure in terms of food, something that's not healthy for you, but you still do it. Would that be a game that I'm addicted to, but I still fucking play it and I know that I shouldn't? Because then not really. My game that I was addicted to was Warframe. point in fucking case. That was like 1,000 hours in 1 year. But now I don't really. I'm gonna need to go to the bathroom soon. That's not my response. But one that I want to think about it while I go to the bathroom, honestly, because I have responses, but I don't think I'd put them as a response to this. Love that game too, honestly, Sam. I'm not too sure on my answer on this. Here's the thing. My thought would be Call of Duty in general, but here's why I struggle to put Call of Duty in my thing. I like Call of Duty, but I'm not at all addicted, and I've never been addicted to Call of Duty. There was a point in time when I was streaming on Twitch when I could arguably say I was. I wasn't like addicted. I played other games, but I would go back to it, and it would be considered my guilty pleasure. But it was only Call of Duty, Cold War, and I haven't played that game since really. But I have lots of Call of Duties. I have over half of them, but I don't go out of my way to purchase every Call of Duty. I'm not even considering buying Call of Duty 3. What I like about Call of Duty is the refinement from iteration. I like how refined Call of Duty is as a shooter. I like shooters myself. But I like the refinement of it and how many times it's been iterated upon. I don't like how it pumps out games too often. That's what I dislike about it. But I also like how refined the game feels. It feels very refined. You will know what I mean if you play a refined game. So there's a lot that I dislike about that. But on the thing is, it's so refined that it's not that entertaining. It's really just the same shit. So outside of the story, I don't see a reason. Like, I got Modern Warfare 2, which is now called Call of Duty, for no fucking reason. For half because I really wanted to play the story, and the story was pretty solid. It had its good moments, it had its bad moments. Then the other half was because I wanted to be relatively early to multiplayer, because I was always relatively late to the multiplayer. And being relatively late to the multiplayer is not great, as point in case when I was talking about Team Fortress 2. So it wasn't too bad. I managed to put 40 hours into it. The other ones I've put about 100 hours into, like Cold War, maybe another 20 to 40. I think maybe 30, 40 hours into the Modern Warfare 1. Then I finished Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Ghosts, Black Ops, I think. 2. I had PS3 version of Black Ops 3, so I knew I could play the story, and then Black Ops 1, I don't think I completed the story for that. It was too dated, even for me on my PlayStation. Black Ops. No! So I struggle to put where my guilty pleasure is due to that. Oh, sorry. There's other games like Forza, which I probably would buy each version of. There's obvious ones that I would buy each version of, like Cyberpunk, Witcher. I'd probably buy the next GTA, but I think those are very good games as is. I don't think there's any reason to be guilty about them. So I don't really know where I want to put this, to be honest. Battlefield, I guess, maybe, but even then, there's only really one bad Battlefield, so I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm not sure. And tons of hours played. I don't think I need to look at my shit for this. Minecraft. I don't know my hours at all of Minecraft. Sites about me games. Minecraft, I don't know my hours at all. But I know I played that shit like straight for 3 years, so 2 minutes, probably. Let me find a thing. I don't know if I will. Week 11. Alright. I pooped my pants a little bit. Basically, I'm sorry. We have a pain in the Tootsie. So we're just looking at, well, so my friend hasn't completed his slide and some Google slide presentation for the next game that we're making, which I don't know if I've talked about, but if I haven't, then I'm going to talk about it later, closer to us actually starting, maybe next week, as apparently we need the prototype built. So I was looking at it, I'm just like writing down, I'm just like, wait, do week 11? When's week 11? Turns out it's week 10 this week, apparently. So apparently the prototype, here's the thing, prototype week 11, this isn't even bad time management. The issue is we are presenting our idea of a game tomorrow. Every group has to present their idea for the game they want to be making this tomorrow, effectively, right? So we're given 1 week of one class. Well, that doesn't even make sense, because then we won't have any classes, because our Wednesdays are lectures. And then if it has to be due by the Friday, then we'll have no classes to work on our prototype. That makes no sense to me. That means that we have to have made the prototype of said game with no in-class time within a week, while we've got other assessments going on as well. Which I'm not too worried about just yet, my assessments, but I'll have to start considering them. We're starting a new assessment because I've submitted one today. And then another one I'm guessing we'll be looking more at and closer to shit. And then I just need my own time for a little bit. We're still learning the other programs. I just need some Toby time because so much grinding for the past week and a half on this assessment because I was fully capped out busy in the holidays. Again. So, the fucking assessment's the first week and then working the next week. So. Literally. So, I guess it's just waiting for the holidays. I was talking to Ruben today, and I'm just like, so Ruben, when are you going to be updating your art station? Because we were having a chat about Ruben's art station last night, Amy. Well, not literally, it was more like it got brought up, because, yeah. So yeah, so I was talking to him about it, and then and then he's just like, oh, I don't know, I honestly really just need a vacation, because it's been a lot harder than he thought, being here. And then I'm just like, yeah, honestly, same. Like, it has been actually hard. I don't know. It's just a case of you got 4 or 5 assessments always at the same time, due within like a week or so of each other, and then you're only really given like 4 hours at max in between, like 2 to 4 hours each week in class, but then it's like there's so much to each assessment that like factually you're not getting it done in class. There's no fucking shot it's like at all possible. They say that you have to spend the same amount of time outside of class. Then if you're spending 4 hours a week times like 5 effectively, 4 times 5, that's 20. You have to spend another 20 hours outside of class. They say spend the same amount of time outside of class, and then good fucking luck getting your assessments done with those 40 hours regardless, because I struggle. So it's like a whole ass fucking job, except there's no end to it because you're also spending your weekend, the whole weekend working on it as well most of the time. Outside the time that I also have a job that I have, and everyone else has a fucking job, really. So it's not like me using that as an excuse. It's literally hard for everybody because, well, there's some of us that don't have a job in the same fucking class, But even if I didn't have a job, it'd still be hard. Just, yeah, no free will. Yeah, so, you get really burnt out. I really enjoyed last year in comparison in terms of how relaxing it was. I didn't enjoy what we're doing. A lot of the shit we were doing was pure ass, but the last two terms was very good. The first 2 was shite. Like, horse tits. Last 2, animation and the effects were good fun. Even with the shit teams we had, Amy. Even with the shit teams we had. And even with the class being actual blithering wars. So, it's just very hard on me. I'm gambling on the fact that the next years will be easier. The next years will be harder, and there's a lot more expected of you, but it's closer to what I'm interested in learning. I know Substance, I know a little bit of ZBrush, I know actually making like games, but do I know 2D? No. Do I know, Photoshop, texturing? No. Do I know, you know what I mean? That sort of stuff. And it's not a case of that it's not important to me. The Photoshop texturing is relevant. I guess the 2D does as well. But I'm not as fundamentally as advanced as I am with 2D as I am with 3D. And I don't have the capabilities to achieve my best work, I don't think. Like, here's the thing. If I hop on my ArtStation, I'm resorting to having to download textures and having to use those downloads and then customizing them. Like, I think this is the best that I can achieve with what I was given, 5,000 tries, which was actually hard to reach, not because it was too much, but too little. No, it was too much for me to reach. Not too little. So I was actually struggling. I could have gotten it done with 2,500, but that was half because I only had a week and a half, as well as, now I can say, having to move all my shit every day and leave the house because people coming in for open homes. So I'm spending half the time outside of class, actually going. We've pretty much been having like a person coming in each day of the week, apart from today, and same back tomorrow we got another person coming in, and it's going to be 30 minutes before class starts or something like that. So the finishing, so I'm going to have 30 minutes to prepare, eat lunch, shit like that. So good fun. Which I need to speak to you about some stuff outside of stream. Amy. In regards to weekend. So it's just hard and shit to achieve this. Like, this is, yeah, you better be stressed. So there's some fundamental issues, but you're given quite restrictive shit. So some of my shit's kind of bad, but we have to stick with it to, I guess, fit within the rules. Which I would say the rules wouldn't be too bad. I'm pretty good at overlaying. You've seen my stuff before. There's stuff that I'd like to learn, but in terms of just like making shit, this is like an overlay of a lot of different stuff. Like this isn't pure. A lot of this is like, you know, dragging predefined shit, like pre-made shit, but it's making shit from that. Like, for example, there is nothing, you know, this doesn't exist. The texture on the hilt, right? That's not an existing texture that you can just plug and place. That's two textures combined with an extra one, and then I'm customizing them. You can't really see it, but it's like there's actual weaves. You know, it just looks like rings, but it's weaves and it's two textures. It's kind of like substance designer work, if you catch my drift there. So, don't know if it shows completely here. So there's a good amount of work in regards. Oh, you can sort of see the weave. It's like carbon fibery looking almost. So yeah, that's my shit there. I am better just because everything's sliders. Okay, if you want to texture something in Photoshop and then you gotta make a normal map, you can't make a normal map because of the nature of what a normal map is. You could, but any mistake would fuck up the whole thing. You gotta rely on this and then hope that these sliders does it, but it's not. It's all 2D on an object that isn't your own. You can load your own object, but that's kind of like, you know what I mean? So it's really just playing with these for what works. And hoping that it looks the same. It never looks the same. Interesting. So there's that. So some of mine's not entirely right. Some of it's bearable. Then having to make it fucking, I don't know. Let's say I want to, I don't know, tiling, and tiles don't have that much specular. But for my well, for example, like this, right? Breaking down what I've had to do with this is that you kind of have to do the gaps here. You start off with your texture that I showed earlier in stream on one of my tabs that I'd open, concrete, and I added curves to darken it, and then I brought out like a lot of the color, not a lot of the colors, but a lot of the lights and shit, like everything kind of pops a bit more. And then I added these, not completely, they have a little bit of shaky to it, so it's not like too uniform, but it's like, you know what I mean? And then we added cracks to it, which aren't really showable. This is 512 by 512, so in export it's a lot smaller than this again. It's 256 by 256. Then we added layer 1 of moss, layer 2 of moss, and then layer 3 of moss, which overall comes out fine. Looks pretty good actually, I was pretty happy with it. Don't know what layer 3 is. Regardless, it exists. Then you got specular, which is literally having to go. Then you have to turn it black and white. So it's like specular's fucking pain. It's just like going. I should probably turn it on. Then you have to play with the levels. What's accurate, you know? What do you want? Like, you know, it could be something like that, for example. So these would be the white and grey would come up, but the black wouldn't at all. Then you kind of have to hope, like, you know, for example, if I wanted these darker areas to be quite specular, then it's like, oh. Because you're playing with the layers, you can't just pick and fucking choose your shit like you can in Substance Painter. So much relying, and then it's like you have to work around shit, so you have to give each individual thing specular maps themselves. So you have to do like 4 levels per object sometimes if you got 4 different things you're texturing, maybe more than that. Or different like textures, like sub-textures on one texture. So I'm gonna have to, yeah. So mostly just gonna end stream. I probably won't play games tonight. I don't know. I probably won't. I'll talk to you tonight though. But my throat's sore and my fucking drink's empty and I don't have too much energy. It's just so much to that shit. It's just a pain in my booty. See, that basically sums up my shit, what I like about games, and then some of the behind the scenes of what's going on in my life, I guess. Next week I have a new display, which I won't be able to show because I'm moving to a new place, and there's no point opening it until I move there then, which I can finally say. So, not tomorrow, but next week we move on. We get the house on Thursday. I don't know how much I'm gonna say, but we'll get the house on Thursday, and so I sound so edgy. And then such a bad boy, Amy. But we are. It's because my voice, when I'm tired, it gets really like the Valorant boy, you know what I mean? I'm such a fucking, Valorant dude. Huh. I love Valorant. Hello. I love Valorant. I don't know, I don't have a deep voice, but when I'm tired, my super slow talker, you know what I mean? Yeah, right there. Can't stop. You can't stop the beast. That's gonna made you out probably. But yeah, so next Thursday, I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming next week. No, don't cry. I don't know if I'll be streaming next week because next Thursday is when I'm moving everything, and then I'm gonna be probably. So we run into the issues that we're getting carpets cleaned before we move. The carpets are fine, but they had animals there, so you get them cleaned just in case. And then so I don't know if I'm going to be set up until the weekend completely, which also will impact my gaming and my classes, so bear that in mind as well, Amy. So I don't know if I'll be streaming it all next week, but I do. If I can stream, I will stream, but I don't want to stream if my stream's gonna be, people popping in and out and shit like that happening. Sorry. Oh, I can't search while I'm streaming. Somebody that joined the class Discord server that I already thought was part of it, so I'm like, I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you guys all for watching. I should be streaming tomorrow. I'll probably try to play some games tomorrow, but I was kind of sleepy today, kind of eepy. And hopefully as tomorrow I get a bit of a sleep in till maybe like 8:39, so should be a little bit nicer. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Appreciate anyone who popped in, even if for a short amount of time. Anybody subbed, I don't know, but if anybody did, thank you. If not, then sucks, but unfortunate. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Have a good one, and see you hopefully tomorrow. See y'all.